So, hello, hello, hello. This is Lion Ambassador Noor Ahmed, all the way from Bangladesh. I'm really excited to be part of this today's event, and all of you are really, really welcome from the Bangladesh and from the Icare sustainability. And today's the event is all about the Icare Sustainability Ambassadorship Program, our ceremony where the theme is Sustainability Champion Building Resilient Communities for the Greener Tomorrow. Wow. So today we are here for our great contribution of our ship, as well as we are going to hear some of the insight from the great speaker for their own contribution. And we would like to have the great insight from the ambassadorship or ambassador or the team leaders for their impactful work they have done. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Shaikh Ahmed on the behalf of iCare Sustainability for the opening remarks. So Mr. Shaikh, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Noor. I hope I'm audible. Hello everyone. Good afternoon and good evening to all of you for joining different parts of the world. And then it is my pleasure on behalf of ICAT to welcome you all, our distinguished guests, ambassadors, speakers, and of course the organizers to our today's program, ICARE Sustainability Ambassadorship Awards ceremony, where we will jointly try to celebrate the remarkable achievements of ICARE ambassadors and of course their impactful sustainability projects. So I guess it will be an evening of inspiration, networking, and recognition of efforts toward building a sustainable future. We all know about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are 17 in number, and knowing them more and working as an ambassador for them always help participants to build awareness about the environment, the diversity, the climate actions, eradication of poverty, promotion of social inclusion, and of course, foster long-term economic growth. In doing so, ICARE have been initiating different efforts to enhance the idea of leadership and to promote ambassadorship across the globe, working for humanitarian and development sectors. Therefore, I believe that by participating in today's webinar, you will find it effective in terms of knowledge sharing, and of course, collaboration opportunities will be there to sustain your efforts in activities related to the role of communities driving the sustainable transformation, focusing on the global south. Keeping this in mind, now I would like to request our moderator, Mr. Noor, to start the webinar formally. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we are really, really glad to have you with. And yes, of course, we are talking about the ambassadorship and we are talking about the UN SDG goals. And I would like to introduce myself that I am an international speaker, international moderator, SDG ambassador, peace ambassador, youth ambassador, and global chartered member, Lion chartered member. So why I'm focusing all the things? Because apart from my job, because currently I'm working in humanitarian crisis management in Bangladesh nation. So apart from my job, I have to have some responsibility for my community. I have to have some my responsibility for the ethical behavior. If your responsibility is all about studying, it's all about job, this is not actually the meaningful life you are living. So consider about the all the things or the meaningful life you have to have invest a certain moment for the humanitarian perspective. If the humanitarian work are interlinked with the entrepreneurship activities or it is interlinked with the business strategies or business activities, that will be a bonus of yours. So without further ado, we like to start our today's grand event. And before that, I'd like to give you some insight. Please try to keep muted unless you are speaking and try to share your words of wisdom, your words of inspiration through the chat box or send the emoji if required. Even you can open your camera so that we can have a live session, though it is online right now because we are in from the different parts of the world. And yes, because we are here, this is a great acknowledgement. That would be a knowledge sharing. That would be the empowering, and we will talk about the empowering local action, the role of community in the driving sustainable transformation. So in this regard, we will have the great insight from our keynote speaker. So if I'm talking about the keynote speaker, why I should delay to call them our first keynote speaker of today? So she is going to have a great insight for sure. So he is an associate professor at the Department of Economics, National and Kapodistrian University of Athens, Greece. She holds a PhD in economics and business from the University of Reading, UK. She is one of the 39 new members, first in Greece, selected on the ground of the excellence of their scientific research and demonstrated societal engagement and joined Global Young Academy in June 2022. She is also invited lead author of the seventh Global Environment Outlook GEO7, a United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, and so many things. So without further ado, let me welcome the keynote speaker of the today, Dr. Sani. So the Honorable Dr. Sani, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. Hopefully you can hear me well. Good, good. Extremely happy to be with you in this virtual room that connects people from different parts of the world with one common target and one common greater idea that we all believe in, and that is the sustainability imperative. I'm very happy to be here with you and humbled to be invited as a keynote speaker. I think that I need not just to share, but I need to transfer all the weight of this title of a keynote speech with all the students and all the participants in this seminar that in a bit will showcase their projects and will participate in an active discussion. Why is that? Because I think that we no longer need keynote speeches. We no longer need people to tell us what is great, what should be done, what should not be done. It's time we move to the next stage where we see things being done, and not just being done, but being done by those that are in the very ground where change, transformation, participation is needed. And that is local communities. So I'm very happy once again to support the actions and the activities of Icare International, and especially Caroline. Caroline, you've been a great inspiration and a great force behind all the activities and all the projects we have been working on together. So instead of delivering a keynote speech, what I would really like to deliver to this room is some key messages, keeping in mind two things. The one is the ongoing COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, and the other is the 2030 horizon that is set for the achievement of the 17 SDGs and the United Nations Agenda to 2030. Starting from what is happening these days and the discussions and the participation of the parties in yet one other large round of discussions and agreements on what should be done to reverse climate change, and especially that is related to human behavior. It seems that we all understand the issue, we all understand that there is need for action, but we cannot reach to an agreement on how these actions should be implemented, and most importantly, what should be the support that we should offer to each other. And what I mean by each other is support from developed countries to developing countries, those that are in the unfortunate position to see and experience firsthand the results of climate change, and in a way that leaves them very, very exposed, because the technological knowledge is not there, the know-how is not there, the skills in the labor force that can promote the wide deployment of alternative technologies that can support in climate change action and mitigation and adaptation are not there. So what I would like to bring to the table for discussion is the need to support developing nations and developing parts of the world, especially sub-Saharan Africa, that comes with this very unique positioning. First, it's very close to the raw materials and to what nature provides us in a very free way that is necessary for this energy transition. So whether it's minerals, whether it's metals, whether it's access to energy inputs that are important to get access to electricity and to be able to support other economic activities. So one is proximity to natural resources, and second is the necessity to get things right in the African continent. By this, I mean that we should not allow nations that are in the first steps of development to repeat the mistakes that have been done elsewhere. And this should not come as a dictation. It should not be a book with rules and do's and don'ts. It should come very, very naturally. We should freely share the experience that we have in the developed part of the world with what we have done right and what we have done wrong in the last decades. And unfortunately, there are many maldoings, especially when it comes to the exploitation and management of natural resources, of the environment, of diversity, biodiversity, and the ecosystem. In doing so, we need to respect the need of these countries and the need of these regions to develop their own pathway, a pathway that is credible, that is sustainable, that is generally accepted by the local communities. And that is my next point that links climate change action to sustainable development targets, the importance and the role of local communities. Local communities are those that in the end of the day will be most impacted by any kind of policy taken, of decisions taken, and also by the effects of climate change. And in the end of the day, local communities should be the ones that appreciate, accept, and understand the need for action. Because for the addressing of the global challenge, whether it's sustainability transition or climate change action, we need to act and we need to agree at a local level. So the importance of local communities is huge in this endeavor that the global community has engaged in. So how do we engage local communities? Well, first of all, we need to provide them with the tools and the knowledge and the means to develop their own tailored solutions and tailored approaches to sustainability transition and climate change action. And here we can think of many different alternatives and approaches. What Icare Sustainably is doing is exactly supporting this, the ability to develop at a local level know-how, inspiration, groups, communities that can identify local community specific problems and can come up with solutions that are tailored. And in doing so, they can benefit from indigenous and local communities. Knowledge can benefit from traditions, can benefit from intangible assets, informal institutions that often play part and a significant part in the developments that take place at a local level. And if we want to link this not just to one SDG, so not just to climate change, or for instance, more sustainable practices, we can find quite a few extensions on combining action at the local level with meeting global sustainability transition targets. In a recent research that we completed, and it has been published in Environmental Science and Research, we do exactly this. We connect and we basically map the requirements and at the same time the key characteristics that can make local community a driving force for sustainability transition. And what if I can refer very shortly and very briefly to these aspects, these relate to adequate skills relate to the ability to exchange information and know-how, ability to have access to funding that is tailored to the needs of the local community. So we're no longer talking about big funding or big banks or lots of private capital being mobilized for investment. We're talking about very innovative and at the same time simple approaches that connect the public and the private sector, make use of the local knowledge, and make use of the potential to exploit not only in sustainability transition terms, but also in economic and social and environmental terms, small projects like the ones that you will hear about in a bit. So to keep this keynote speech very, very short and to give the floor to the ones that really deserve it today, and that is the practitioners and the groups that have developed the case studies, I would like to conclude this intervention with two key messages. First, support in any way you can local communities in the developing part of the world to fully exploit the know-how and their connections with developments on the ground, and how this can be translated and transmitted to the global community so as to come up with tailored solutions. And the second key message is give room for local participants while supporting skills upgrade, technology transfer, and know-how and collaboration between the different stakeholders and the different parts of the world. And this can support not only the achievement of specific SDGs like it's SDG 5 or SDG 13, but also an SDG that seems to be very, very important to meet this sustainability transition. And that is SDG number 17, that looks for international collaboration, cooperation, and addressing of common challenges in a way that is accepted, understood, and appreciated by all parties in the room. Thank you very much once again for having me with you. It is my honor to support your actions, and I will be watching and monitoring and following very closely and with great respect whatever Icare and the people engaged in this project are delivering and will be delivering in the months and years to follow. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow, such a wonderful things you were actually share with us, and which is really a remarkable. You were actually focusing the most impactful thing, that how can we link the climate change action with the local community. Mainly, we are focusing the link with the local community, local resources to impactful action. I have a small question to you. Did you find any opportunities in spite of having lot of difficulties in the field work? Did you find any opportunities that the African nation can have to mitigate the ultimate action? Did you
Yes.
find any kinds of opportunities?
Yeah. Those opportunities are related to access to natural resources, to an untapped labor force potential, to
Right.
a very young and dynamic segment of the population, and to the fact that these countries and this region are at the very beginning of the development curve. So it is a great opportunity to make things right this time and not to develop at the expense of the environment and social sustainability.
Wow, correctly articulated. Thank you so much. And we are really, really, really delighted to have your words. I think the ultimate action that our one of the I mean our speaker shared, that the things already he has been observed and through the research, through the fieldwork. I think if we are really able to interlink our social community with the very small approach that you shared, I think anything can be happen. Otherwise, we are thinking about, oh no, this fund for this action, for this mitigate this project. I see I should have the huge amount. I should have the huge uh, manpower. I should have huge authorization from the different sources. So if the sources, if the approach is very simple, if the local community are also engaged with that, I think anything can be happen, right? Thank you, Stella. And we are really Glad to have you once again. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, and great of success to all your projects and endeavors. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you. So yes, we are glad to have the great insight from our Dr. Stella Sani. So let's hear about the Icare sustainability. What Icare sustainability doing and what have been doing, but the main approach. Let's have some insight. So for this insight, I would like to welcome Debbie William Champel to talk about Icare.
Greetings all. Let me share my screen.
Absolutely, please.
Are you all seeing?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So I am the co-founder and partnership and network manager of Icare. I want to say congrats to all the participants, and I appreciate all who was part of the success of this project. Empowering communities and youths, advancing sustainability and advocating for human dignity. That's our main goal. We are an international organization established in 2018. Our goals align with the SDGs. We secured registration in 2022. We made expanded impact in Kisumu, Eldoret, Nakuru, Bungoma, and Kakamega. Our mission, we strive to inspire and innovate for sustainable development. We enhance equitable development for communities living in poverty and exclusion. We empower young adults to take ownership of community improvement and provide access to education, resources, and investment for impactful change. Our core values, environmental justice, balance, we are people-driven, effective communication, and we believe in hard work and commitment. Icare focuses on empowering communities through education and sustainable practices. Our special focus is on SDG 17, Partnership for the Goals. Our domain of change, experience, providing young people with knowledge and tools to thrive and contribute to their communities through SDG-aligned projects. Empowerment, equipping young change agents with networks and opportunities to lead community initiatives and drive sustainable practices. Awareness, raising consciousness about the SDGs and their impact on individuals and communities, fostering collaboration for greater influence and collective action. We comprise of 11 countries, persons from Kenya, Netherlands, Germany, India, Ghana, Sri Lanka, Nigeria, Trinidad and Tobago, Colombia, Bangladesh, and the Philippines. We have in 2022 published 2 significant articles addressing local changes related to the SDGs. Article 1 focuses on how community tourism can help revive the economic potential of communities along the Yucumancita River post-COVID-19, that's in Mexico. The author was Dulce Maria Chan Cruz. I hope I pronounced that right. The next article focuses on resilience among learners and provides recommendations for future preparedness. That's in Colombia. We have a new author called Mr. Riyad Mohammed from Trinidad and Tobago. He's an agricultural consultant and entrepreneur. He focuses on educating communities about climate change impacts on food and water security, promoting sustainable farming practices to ensure long-term food security. We've done a few good projects. One of them are the SDGs for Schools project, located in Kenya to raise awareness and use community waste through strategic partnerships with local schools. This initiative encourages environmental responsibility among students ages 10 to 12 and the broader community, fostering sustainable practices. Our key objectives, as usual, is to increase awareness and encourage community engagement. Our future plans is to expand the reach of the SG for Schools initiative to more schools in Usain Gishu County. We plan to expand our partnership network with more local organizations and stakeholders and implement the community waste management hub for resource sharing and recycling. We've had the mini project program a great success. The objective was to empower communities through small actions aligned with the SDGs by generating awareness, connecting mentors, and peer-to-peer networking. We've hosted the project 3 times in January 2021, January 2022, and January 2023. We've had over 30 plus projects from 25 countries and 54 mentors from 30 plus nations. We've had a Spanish version launch led by Pilar Rosas and supported by Dulce Maria from Mexico. We want to expand participation from Spanish-speaking regions. Now, all of the project contributes to the SDGs. We've had collaborations with various partners such as the SDSN Kenya, KitKat Squills. We've had Wiki Pharma, GFSRD, JCI Dhaka Cosmopolitan from Bangladesh, and other global partners. Our focus areas were agriculture, climate action, poverty, clean water, health.
So thank you so much. And I think she almost done about the presentation of Icare sustainability, which has been done such a fantabulous job in the humanitarian world and humanitarian field as well. So let's move forward. And we are delighted to have another keynote speaker today. And if I'm going through his profile, which is really, really remarkable. So he has been appointed the Senior Research Fellow at Strathmore University, Nairobi, Kenya. And he's also the visiting professor at Mary University of Science and Technology, Musk, Kenya. He's also a proud member of Loss and Damage Collaboration Group and the Fossil Fuel Non-Proliferation Charity. And without further ado, let's welcome the great speaker and another keynote speaker of the today, Dr. Honorable Ioannis Siforidis. Pardon me if I pronounced wrong. So, dear Honorable,
it was a good effort. It was a good effort. It was a good effort. Good evening from Nairobi. Happy to be among your midst. It's really great, and I'm really happy to be here. I've been watching all week COP29, and I just interrupted to attend this meeting. And let me tell you that for me, it's more important what you guys do than what is happening at COP29, for 2 reasons. First of all, what you try to do, and I should mention in this instance Carol and her amazing work, you produce results, and you produce results with very few funding, if any at all. COP29, on the other hand, has totally, like all 29 COPs rather, not only COP29, have totally failed to give what we expected and it was set up to do. And as it's going on, it's another greenwashing exercise, a lot of hot air pledges, a lot of empty words, a lot of speeches that mean absolutely nothing, because in the end, they don't take the action that's necessary. And that's, the results of any action is not measured in the number of pledges or in the number of beautiful words written or delivered, is measured in degrees Celsius of rising temperature and weather events, how extreme they are and how badly they affect the millions of vulnerable communities around the world. The fact of the matter is that climate change is here. Climate change is here to stay. It's not going to be just a year or 2. It's going to be for a few decades. Climate change is going to get worse before it gets better. The 1.5, the holy 1.5 degrees Celsius has been surpassed already. 2024 is going to be the hottest year ever. according to the scientists themselves, they expect the temperature to rise above 2.5 degrees, which is really hell on earth. It's going to be hell on earth. What happened in Valencia is something that's going to be the order of the day. Why? Because infrastructure does not exist. The infrastructure of our cities was not even good enough to sustain the climate that was before. The infrastructure we have cannot sustain the climate that has come. And that's even worse as we go from north to south. Emergency services do not exist, especially in the south. So what you do at community level has become extremely important. That's why your work is really to be praised and to be supported any way possible. From now on, you have to really work on adaptation and resilience. Mitigation has failed badly because mitigation is moving according to what the market dictates. And because it doesn't make enough revenue so far, that's why renewables are still, we're doing great, but we're not doing great enough. As we're speaking right now, 75% of total final energy consumption still comes from fossil fuels. 75% of total final energy consumption. We're doing great in electricity, but that's not enough. And because SDGs were mentioned and they're part of the reason to be of this initiative, SDGs are failing badly. Last year, which was the half point mark for the 2030 end of the road for SDGs, only 12% of the 170 so targets have been achieved. They are failing. Why are they failing? Because companies are using them for greenwashing. I'm sorry I'm painting a very ugly picture, but it is a very ugly picture. And not knowing is not going to help you. You should know what you are up against. And that makes your work even more important. And you should be congratulated that it's amazing, raising awareness, building capacity, and getting ready to face what is coming. And what is coming is ugly. I don't think I should say much more because I had prepared a presentation, but all the diagrams, one after the other, are really painting a very bleak picture. I will share the presentation with you, Caroline. You can send it to the teams because it contains a lot of data. It's all UNFCCC data. Actually, what happens before of every COP, they publish the latest reports of the state of the climate. So let's say, for example, the emissions. For the past years, I mean, everywhere you listen, people claim that we're doing this and we're doing that to reduce emission. Yes, yet 2023 emissions rose. 2023. And they're projected to rise 2024. So what's happening? In Baku, the president of the country mentioned yesterday that oil and gas are gifts of God. And if they're gifts of God, they cannot be tampered with. We said we should use them and be thankful. At least he didn't say that coal was a gift of God. Those guys signed new oil and gas exploration agreements in front of our eyes within COP29. 1,700 fossil fuel lobbies are present there. So enough of that. This is the bad news. The good news is you are the best news. What communities do is really great, and you should do even more. I'll be happy to continue my support, whatever I can give to you guys. I'm really proud to be in that. Thank you, Caroline, for inviting me to be part of this effort. And I hope one day to see you. I'm in Nairobi. I'm not that far from some of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your words of wisdom. And yes, that words of sharing the current scenario of the clean energy adaptation. So I have a small question to you as well. That can you please share that according to your experience, what are the barriers of clean energy adaptation? Main key barriers.
Can you repeat it, please? I cannot hear the question.
Yeah, sure. What are the key barriers to keep clean energy adaptation?
The key barriers are that people continue to, it's going to be a long answer. What brought us to this mess is the development and growth model that we used. That development and growth model depending on exploiting the environment without any cost and also exploiting the people. But let's leave that for the moment out of it. What they're trying to do, they're using the same model of growth. They have to make money in order to really produce the clean energy results that are needed to keep the temperature below that limit. But that 1.5 was not a target to reach and surpass, was a limit to avoid. It's time to stop thinking about revenues. The cost, the climate cost is far greater than any money we can spend to avoid it. That has been settled by Lord Stern in 2006. The cost of climate change is far more than the money that are needed to stop the temperature rising. So it's a matter of the market, my friend, and the stock exchange. They're not listening to science. Science is not really having a say in this.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for being with us, and we are really honored to have you today's event. Anyway, thank you so much, whoever comment in the chat box and whoever being with us from the very beginning. So this time, I would like to welcome the honorable who actually create the platform and try to improve us all of her insights for the great achievement. So yes, see, without further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Caroline Narangi for about the ambassadorship program. So yes, Caroline, over to you.
Thank you so much, Noor, for giving me this chance. And I would like to appreciate Dr. Stella and Dr. Yanis. It's such an honor to have you with us and have you support our program. And despite your very, very busy schedules, you still find time to support this program. So we really appreciate you. So I would like to share a little bit about the Icare Sustainably Ambassadorship Program. So this program was created this year, about 6 months ago. And the program was a progression from our previous mini projects program that we normally hold like every year. The mini projects program normally takes about 2 months mentorship, but this one we decided to prolong it so that the participants can be able to have more time with the mentors and be able to learn more skills through the program. So before I get started, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Caroline Narangi from Kenya. I'm the co-founder and president of Icare Sustainably International. And as my colleague Debbie and Shayek mentioned, we've been working on this organization since 2018. That's when we started Icare Sustainably International. And over the years, we've been able to create impact across different communities in different parts of the world. And the ambassadorship program is one of our key programs that we work on. So what is the Icare Sustainably Ambassadorship Program? This program empowers individuals to lead projects in environmental conservation and sustainable development. So as I mentioned, we take about 6 months where the ambassadors collaborate on initiatives aligned with the SDGs. And the ambassadors are also supported by the mentors and also Icare Sustainably International team that works with them through the period of 6 months. So what do we do in this program? The program recruits ambassadors from different parts of the world, bringing together individuals with unique experiences and skills and different perspectives from different parts of the world. So each ambassadors undergo a rigorous orientation session, which we introduce the program. We talk to the participants about the program expectations and the general overview of what the program is all about for the like their journey for the next 6 months. So in 2024, we had 3 teams which worked specifically in about 3 countries. Their programs focused on 3 countries, but the participants came from different parts of the world. So we had different groups that we created through our WhatsApp platforms. And these groups, the key teams work on organizing themselves, deciding which projects they are going to work on and all that. So the team 1 decided to work on a project that is called Enhancing Sustainable Practices Across Communities. And this team focused on 2 communities in Cameroon. Team 2 worked on a storytelling database and climate change adaptation. So this team also collected climate stories from Kenyan communities, about I think 4 communities in Kenya, and they shared them through a storytelling database. They created different formats of these stories, videos. They created podcasts and all that. You're going to hear about the project from the team leader in a few minutes. So team 3 also worked on facilitating learning and capacity building in climate adaptation. They called it a FLISA project. And this project focused on Ghana, and mostly working with schools, training them on environmental education. So we had different achievements from the teams, which I'm going to go very quickly because the team leaders are going to share the same information. So the team 1 was able to organize a successful workshop with over 40 attendees, and they also conducted need assessment, the community, with the hope of progressing, moving forward with the next step of making sure that they implement their project at the community level. So they also created a training manual. The training manual is ready. And of course, once they work on probably securing finances, they'll be able to implement the same projects at the community level. So team 2 was able to conduct community assessments and data collections for the project. They compiled videos for YouTube and individual stories in different formats, like I mentioned, podcasts and text and all that. And on top of that, they really created a very comprehensive storytelling database, which contains all this format in one single PDF. This document is also available on our website. We'll share the link later on, so that you can be able to go and see what the team was able to achieve. The 3rd team was able to successfully lead community engagement initiatives. They developed a comprehensive training guide for schools in Ghana and planted 60 trees as part of their sustainability efforts. And they also established 3 climate action clubs in schools across Ghana. They worked actually with the 2 schools in Ghana as a pilot for their project. So the ambassadorship program leverages on 4 pillars. The program has 4 key elements. We have the mentorship element, where we offer continuous guidance and expertise. This was really interesting because we had very key mentors like Dr. Yanis working with the participants throughout the program. And we also had our mentor, Dr. Gabi Van Oterdich. He wasn't able to join us today. So these two mentors really worked with these teams, and they were able to have monthly meetings with them, 1 hour monthly meeting sessions with them. And also the mentors were so available for the participants throughout the project, such that whenever the participants wanted some guidance in any areas, the mentors were quite available for them. So the other element is knowledge sharing. This is about facilitating learning through experience and insights. Looking at the fact that these participants come from different parts of the world, and they have key expertise. Most of them are were actually established social impact leaders from different parts of the world. We had students also among the team, which also worked very well for them, so that there is that aspect of knowledge sharing between the very experienced social impact leaders who are willing to set aside some time to work on the projects and support also the upcoming social impact leaders. The other aspect is the cultural exchange. The fact that these teams come from very diverse cultures from different parts of the world. This program fosters cultural exchange. And from this program, we were able to see different people working on different aspects through based on their cultural exchange and being able to exchange what they know, how to solve some of these problems, community problems. So the other aspect is leveraging on technology. The program is mostly virtual. So meaning we were using digital tools to connect. We leveraged on WhatsApp, we used emails, whatever communication tool that we could use. We had Google Drive and all those digital tools. So it was an interesting program, a mix of different aspects that really were really helpful and educative for the learners, and improved the experience throughout the program. So the program had also a few unique aspects. We were able to see the ambassadors engage in the full project management cycle. This includes project design and ideation, where the participants were able to develop a concept that's feasible and impactful. And then they also went through the project development phase, where they were able to outline the steps to bring the ideas to life. And then there was the budgeting and resource planning. This was an interesting aspect of the program, because as much as you have very beautiful idea, I would like to quote Professor Yanis. We may have very beautiful ideas, but financial resources are really important. So they worked on trying to find, or rather determining, how they were able to raise material and financial resources needed to actualize their projects. And team 2 was able to leverage on this aspect, and they were able to raise finances to be able to do their projects. The other aspect is implementation, that is putting their projects into action, which we are going to hear about. So in conclusion, the Icare Sustainability Ambassadorship Program is more than a training initiative. It's a movement. By connecting, creating, and implementing sustainability projects, our ambassadors become leaders in their communities, driving tangible change. So thank you so much. I will conclude there, and also invite all of you to get involved in the program. You can spread the word about the program. You can also donate towards our initiatives. You can also volunteer and partner with us. Thank you so much. I will take the mic back to Noor.
Well, thank you so much for your good insight regarding the great ambassadorship program. I think we'll have a great insight from the team leaders for the success story of their work. Thank you so much, dear Caroline, for your great insight. We should have to move forward. Thank you. All right, we would like to, in line with the Caroline said, that there is a three team have been doing such a wonderful job for the ambassadorship program. So in that perspective, in line with that, we will call one-to-one. Before that, I'd like to give you great thanks to all of you for joining and still with us from the very beginning to till now. I would like to actually, there is a small introduction to all of you. Can you please open your camera so that we can have a group picture? So, yeah, see the leader. When I say that, the guy open the camera for just a click. Thank you so much, Your Honorable. That's the things we are required. So yes, I would like to request all of you, if you can, open your camera so that we have a group photo. We'll definitely keep you posted in the email so that any link in other social media posts so that you can have a great